Hey guys, Matt here. This is my review of Guardians of the Galaxy. This movie is directed by James Gunn, who previously directed Super and Movie 43. This movie stars Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, and Dave Bautista, with Bradley Cooper and Vin Diesel. Chris Pratt plays Peter Quill, an Earthling who comes across this mysterious yet powerful orb. After he becomes the target of a manhunt being chased by mercenaries and this bad guy named Ronan the Accuser, he's imprisoned. And there he runs into Gamora, played by Zoe Saldana, Drax the Destroyer, played by Dave Bautista, Rocket Raccoon, played by Bradley Cooper, and a tree named Groot, played by Vin Diesel. Some of these species, aliens, and individuals want to help, others just want to fight. So together they form a group called the Guardians of the Galaxy. When the trailer of this movie first came out, my only expectations were that it was going to go beyond the realm of the Avengers and show us a glimpse of who or what the villain may be later down the line. I also thought this movie was going to be a comedy with action in it. So after seeing the movie, I can say it was enjoyable, and though it may not be the best Marvel movie, it was definitely the funniest. Don't get me wrong, being the class clown of the Marvel movies is not a bad thing because this movie's primary focus was to be fun. It wasn't drama, it wasn't action, it was to be silly, and that's exactly what this movie was. It was Star Trek meets Galaxy Quest meets Outlaw Star, the anime, where you have this character from Earth put together with this ragtag group of aliens and different races and species who has to at least one time make a reference to Earth or say, back home we have a saying, we're on Earth, something like that to kind of unite them. As far as the acting goes, Chris Pratt was okay as leading man Peter Quill. It kind of came off as Ryan Reynolds as in Green Lantern, as this guy that's not really suited to be a leader, but eventually he gains those qualities of rallying the troops and eventually becomes the hero. Zoe Saldana as the distant assassin Gamora was pretty good. Bradley Cooper as Rocket Raccoon was also really good. Very out of his character realm, but he did a good job. But I've got to say, even though Michael Rooker was also good in the movie, Dave Bautista probably gave the best performance in the whole movie. He was quite a pleasant surprise, and to me, the biggest source of the comedy in the movie. Just the way he spoke and the way he didn't get things was really funny. Just like Christopher Eccleston in Thor: The Dark World, Guardians of the Galaxy takes a good actor and makes him the villain who's supposed to be all powerful and awesome and threatening, but we really don't care about him. Played by Lee Pace, who was in the Hobbit movies, and Lincoln, he plays Ronan. This guy is supposed to be like second in command to Thanos, but we don't really get any backstory to him. We hear some stories, but we don't really get to know him, so it's like having Darth Vader in one of the Star Wars movies. If we're only going to see him in this one movie, then why are we supposed to care about him? Good news, however, is we did get to see Thanos finally in the flesh. And let me tell you, he's definitely a force to be reckoned with in the future. People are going to compare this to the Avengers. But the reason why I think the Avengers succeeded and was a better film is because for the first time, you had all these characters from their individual movies in one movie. This movie, Guardians of the Galaxy, had all these characters thrown together, and we were supposed to empathize and care about them, but besides one emotional scene at the end, we really couldn't because there was no downtime. They would be arguing or at each other's throats, and then Peter Quill would say some Earth reference, and then that would unite them. And then they'd be on the go. They were always doing something. There was always something going on. There was never any downtime. And their common goal in this movie was to take care of the bad guy Ronan. But once the bad guy's out of the way, then when the sequel comes, that's when the character development can happen, because then they'll be an official team. The soundtrack of this movie was also really good. It made the movie fun. It set the lighthearted tone. So because this movie had okay acting, it had a lot of comedy, the villain was a bit of a letdown, but the music was really good, I'm going to give Guardians of the Galaxy a C+, because this movie was more of a filler. It was like reading a comic book. You had these little tie-ins, these little side stories that shed some more light on the overall subject, but it's really just something to whet our appetites until the big Marvel players come back. So until next time, guys, see ya.